morning, everyone. Um, so I want to welcome you to another week, and technically, I think right here at Easy Pips, Tuesday happens to be the beginning of the week for us because that is the first time in the week that we usually meet, and then we do this weekly market outlook, right? But at the same time, we've seen days that probably we just see some setups on Monday, and then we decide to lock in on Monday, and I share it on the Telegram channel. But today is the day that we now get to analyze and see what the market is going to look like um, throughout the week. Okay. So if you can hear me loud and clear, if you can hear me and you can see my screen, can you, if you can hear me clearly, can you put it in the chat? I need to be sure that we are active. If you're active, can you put it in the chat? I know some of us are just waking up and maybe the head is still feeling a little bit heavy. But if you're active, put it in the chat. I'm waiting, guys, so that we can get started with today's analysis. Guys, I'm waiting for you. If you can hear me and you can see my screen, I need to be sure that you are active, right? So that we can start today's analysis in no time and get to finish on time. So I need someone to just drop it in the chat box so that I can get started with this week's outlook. Okay, that's good. Ebenezer, it's good to have you here again. So that means that everything is perfect. Oh, good. That means everything is perfect. So we can get started. Okay. Just as it is our culture, I would like to do a review of the trade that we had. I'd like to do a review of the trade we had, and if there is one thing that you guys notice, that most of the time when we have this market outlook for the past 3 weeks thereabout, our outlook has been giving us good setups. I think the last one we had gave us full TP, I think 1 to 5 or something. Like, I'll check it right now. So just like I said in the last time we had this kind of, the last week rather, you don't want to miss our outlook for any reason, even if you are a professional trader already, just so that you can just get some other people's bias. You join sessions like this, and then you get to add that knowledge to your knowledge. And then by now, I want to believe that some of you that have been consistent in this live, you already understood the strategy that we use. And I always tell you guys that strategy is just the list of what you need to be a good trader. Once you figure out a strategy that gives you an edge in the market, what are you looking for? You don't have any business looking for any other thing. What is left for you is your proper money management skill, how you manage your trade, how you manage your risk and all that, right? Because you can keep repeating that strategy for the rest of your life as far as it gives you that statistical edge, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the outlook that we had last week, a review of the outlook. Was it this one? Was it this one? Oh, okay. I think this our outlook for last week didn't activate. I'm going to check the Telegram community right now. Last week, Tuesday was 31st. So we had this outlook on the 31st. Okay, the outlook for the last session we had didn't get to activate, but then that was when we now locked in a new position. There was a new setup we saw on that was on Wednesday. So the one on Tuesday, because we had our last session on Tuesday, didn't get activated. Our other block didn't get mitigated, so we saw another setup right there on Wednesday, just the second day. And what was the setup like? If you check the 15 minutes time frame, I'm just going to be fast with this one so on the 15 minutes time frame, after that our order was not activated, right? I saw this simple setup on the 15 minutes time frame, and I saw a break of structure here. And then the move that caused the break of structure happened down here, right on the 15 minutes time frame. So you can see the move that caused that break of structure. This was the break of structure. The move that caused that break of structure happened at this point, and right here at this point I was able to mark out my other block, and my other block happened to be the last balance candle before the imbalance, and this was the imbalance. This bullish candle right here was the imbalance. So the move before then, I marked it out as my other block, and then I locked in my trade. And here I was targeting 1 to 4, just 1 to 4, nothing so serious, just 1 to 4. And you could see how markets came, it went up. It's funny because I would have targeted more than 1 to 4 on this trade. Ideally I would have targeted more, but then I thought it was going to be a quick trade. I just wanted to take that quick 1 to 4 and run out of the market, right, and not wait unnecessarily. Then market pulled back down, mitigates my other block, activated my pending buy limit, and then boom. And then look at it. It has spent like maybe 3 days still running, but at the same time market has moved about 1,500 pips. 1,500 pips. You know that is not a baby move, right? That is not a baby move. So market has moved 1,500 pips, and it is still running at the moment. So by now I've already closed half of the profit and locked in my break even, and I know that the worst that can happen on this trade is for it to go back, but I'm already profitable on this trade. I could make more, and I could also keep the one I've made, and if market decides to go down, I'm good, I'm out of the market. So like I always tell you, keep your strategy simple. Keep your strategy simple. There's still advanced XMC to all what I'm doing, what I'm showing you to on gold. There's still advanced level. I've not even started talking about liquidity. We've not started talking about some breakers blocks, some other things, right? We are not doing all that because like all those ones work too, but at the same time, why like, instead of you to complicate it, why can't you pick the simple thing that work as well? Because the simple things can work, the technical things can work too. It's funny because the technical ones too can also give you stop loss the same way the simple ones can give you stop loss. The technical ones can give you profit the same way the simple ones can give you profit. So why complicate it when you can easily pick the ones that are simple, right? And that's why I decided to simplify my own SMC to this. All what I look for is the overall bias on higher time frame. I go to the lower time frame, I look for a perfect market structure, I look for a break of structure, and I look for the balance candle that caused that break of structure. I marked out my other block, and then boom. And if you are still new to this live, if this is the first time you'll be joining this live, the best you can do is to go back and watch some of the videos that we've done, right? Some of the live video, I think the first live video, you can go and check it. There I explained properly what SMC is, how to calculate all those things, what other block is, what demand zone, what all those things. I think I mentioned everything in the first video. All right, so briefly we are going to just be looking at the market insights for the week, the outlook for the week. We'll be looking at it right now. And let me just change it to another server. Okay, so I believe that you already know how it works already, right? The first thing I look out for is to go to the daily time frame. Once you get to the daily time frame, all what you are looking for daily time frame is to look for a bias, a direction, right? You're looking for a direction on the daily time frame. Where is price heading to? That is the question you want to ask yourself. Where is price heading to? It's as simple as that. And again, on the daily time frame, I can see after this all-time high, market is still creating series of lows, right? It is creating lower highs and lower lows. So the sentiment is still a little bit bearish on the daily time frame, but at the same time you can't deny the fact that markets could also pull up. But then I will still pick more of bearish condition than a bullish condition. So that's to tell you that I would want to sell gold more than I would buy gold in this new week. And I can even see after there is a move downward, there was a move downward, you can see this move. As much as I like to buy gold, this time around market sentiment is funny. You can see it's creating a series of lows, and boom, and you can see some indecision candles forming already. So it's possible we might even have this move downward. It is possible. So I'm still having this selling bias on gold on the higher time frame. But then if I see a quick buy option, I'm still going to lock in that quick buy option. But I'm not going to do too much if I want to buy. That is even one of the reasons why I took 1 to 4 on that buy signal. I only took 1 to 4. I didn't want to take 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 9 the way I always take it. I just need to take 1 to 4. And you can see market has used like 3 days, of how many days now, since last week Wednesday. It has used Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, the trade got activated on Thursday, so Thursday, Friday, Monday. It has used 3 full days now, and it has not hit TP because it is struggling to climb up. So it is easier for market to sell these days because the overall bias on gold is tending towards the downside. It's easy for market to quickly climb 1 to 7, 1 to 9 downward right now than for it to climb just 1 to 4 upward. So it's as crazy as that. So my bias on the daily time frame on gold is sell. But if I see a quick buy, a smooth market structure to the upside, I'm still going to take, but it has to be a very short entry. So I'll take you to my H1 time frame, and on H1 time frame, what can I see? Can I see any proper market structure? I can see that this last level on H1 has not been broken to the downside to create a break of structure to the downside. So there's no break of structure to that downside, so I'm just going to be relaxed. I'm going to be relaxed on the H1, and I'll look for more entries on the 15 minutes time frame. What can I see on 15 minutes? Is there anything fun happening on the 15 minutes? Is there anything fun happening on the 15 minutes? Okay, what do we have here? We have market pulling up. Okay, okay, we have markets pulling up. It's funny because I would have actually picked another block from here, right? But at the same time, the reason why I wouldn't pick it from this point is because, okay, let's see. Yeah, I can actually pick it from this point. As you can see, there is a break of structure to the downside, which also happens to be your change of character. And I can see my other block at this point. I can see my other block at that point. And what else can I see? What else can I see? Because don't forget, my bias is still to the downside. So all what I'm looking for is an opportunity to sell gold. So it's either I see market pull up to this point, then move downward, or okay, 1 2 3 4, I can see an inside trend building up here. So I can see an inside trend building up here. So on the 15 minutes time frame now, I think I've already marked the first point, so I can decide to lock in some position. And as you can see, even right here from where I picked my other block, I can also spot my fair value gap right at this point. Right, so I'm just going to still lock in this first position. I'm going to lock it in first. Let's see what we have here. I hope it's not heavy stop loss value. Oh, this is like 200 pips, so this is perfect. So I'm going to lock in that 200 pips to this downside. So look at this. I would confidently take my 1 to 9 on this trade. If it plays out the way I want, I'll confidently take my 1 to 9 on this trade. Don't forget my overall bias is to the downside. Okay, all right, so what else do we have? Okay, before we go, let me quickly, I'm just going to quickly, let me see, do I have anything on the chart? I'm just going to quickly lock in these trades. So I'm going to set a sell limit. I'm still going to use another high to look at it probably after this session. I'm going to analyze it again, and if there's any update about this particular trade, I'll put it in the Telegram community. So if you're not in the Telegram community, make sure that you look for our Telegram community link and join, because that is where we post updates on all these trades, right? So sell limit as, where am I selling from? Where am I selling from? 4783.75, and my stop loss is at 4804.06. I might take profit. Take profit is what that is. Fox 600.94. Okay, so my risk to reward on this trade is looking like 1 to 9. So my risk to reward here is looking like 1 to 9. All right, so right now that seems to be my outlook on the 15 minutes time frame on gold. Outlook on 15 minutes time frame on gold, but then I can see a structure building up at this area. I can see another structure building up at this area, so I don't want to miss out on any small trades that we can quickly, because before market would even get to mitigate my other block here, that means gold would have moved 1,400 pips upward. So if I'm still going to get a small opportunity, to a fast opportunity to enter the market on lower time frame, I don't want to miss out on them. And don't forget, my overall bias is still to the downside, so market would sell more than it would buy, right? So let me go to the 5 minutes and let me observe what is happening on the 5 minutes. So on the 5 minutes time frame, okay, so look at it. This is why I said you need to be sure that you check lower time frame so that you don't miss some sweet setups, right? And if you look at this, you would even notice there was the setup that has played out already. There was a break of structure to the downside, and this was your looking like your other block. And you would have actually locked in some trades here. Put the take profit above the eye of this, and stop loss below. This is like 1 to 2, but you know, you actually know that I don't like all those 1 to 2 trades, 1 to 2.5, 1 to 1.5, especially using this SMC. I want to at least lock in some good risk to reward. Okay, so on the 5 minutes time frame, at the moment I can't clearly see any significant push. The only thing I'm just going to be anticipating on 5 minutes is for me to have a break of structure to this downside. If there is a break of structure to this downside, then I'll be looking for my other block around this range to continue on a set order. So that is my outlook on gold. So the only position that I'm going to be holding on gold right now, and I want us to all go and lock it in, is this, which we spotted on the 15 minutes time frame. It's just this, right? Whenever market gets to this level, there's a very high tendency that market is going to pull back. And then don't forget, at this time you want to lock in your profit as early as possible, because market can behave erratically. All right, and don't forget that if there's any market that you want me to analyze, feel free to drop it in the chat. Now, one thing is going to happen, let me tell you, because this is going to be a progressive class. As I've been teaching you the simple things. By the time I've done this simple analysis over and over and over again, and then anytime you wake up, once you look at the chart, you'll be able to pick, oh, this is easy pip strategy, this is other block, this is this and that and that. By the time you pick it very well, and I'm sure that, like, by the time it gets to a point where we come to class, we come to this live session, and then we analyze gold within 2 minutes. Once we look at it, we already know what we are looking for. Then I'm going to move you all to the advanced session, right? To the advanced session. There are some other things that you guys still need to learn. So that's why you don't want to miss. And I'm not, this is not like a paid class or anything. I'm not going to be telling you that today I'm going to be doing an advanced session or anything. You just have to keep showing up every now and then. The same way I'm showing up, the same way I expect you guys to show up if you really want to learn and become the best version of yourself as a trader. Okay. So don't forget, if there's any setup you want me to analyze quickly, let's quickly drop it, because I'm going to analyze one or two more pairs and then I'll run out of this place, okay, to start my day. All right, let's go to, I just don't know why I don't really like this pair these days, this BTC USD. And some of you, I know some of you, like Ebenezer, you people are cashing out on BTC. I know some of you are cashing out on this BTC, right? So what does BTC look like? What does it look like? So for BTC USD, obviously market is not even picking a particular trend. Market is ranging on BTC USD on the higher time frame. So we could see so many funny move, erratic move. Market could shoot up and shoot down without any reasonable explanation to that kind of movement, especially the way it is now. But at this moment, it is easy for market to climb to the upper range, because don't forget, when market is moving in a range, it respects levels. So it just keep going, touching the upper range, going down, touching the lower range and all that. So right now it is approaching, is looking like it's building up from the lower range to the upper range. But then that is not defined. A ranging market is a market that does not have any particular direction. So you can't say clearly that I have a bullish sentiment or a bearish sentiment on BTC USD on this higher time frame. So right there, I'm just going to move to the 1 hour and see what 1 hour time frame looks like. So on the 1 hour time frame, I can still spot that serious range on the 1 hour time frame, although I can clearly see that there was already a break of structure to the upside over here. And if there's a break of structure there, I'll be looking at this area. I'll be looking at this area for my point of interest, which is my other block. And can I spot any significant other block at this point? Actually, I can spot one like this, but would I want to take it? I can spot one at this point, but then let me see what the 15 minutes time frame looks like. Okay, I think I can see a better one on the 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, I'd rather go for this. I'd rather go for this. And the reason I'm going for this is so that I can also put my stop loss below the low of this candle and it won't give me too much margin. So I'm going to lock in my trades on BTC USD, and of course I can see my fair value gap that has not been touched, that has not been tapped into. Okay, I think it has been tapped into a little bit, but not completely. All right, so quick one, like I said, very simple thing. You lock in and then you target this upside. So can we do 1 to 7 is already approaching here. So let's see if we can have 1 to 7 on BTC USD. Look at what I did. And don't forget that on the higher time frame, on D1, I told you the market has tested the lower range. So there is a very high tendency that is going to push up. So the probability that is going to push up is even higher than the probability that is going to go down. But nobody knows because it's a ranging market. And at the same time, I could spot a break of structure on the H1 time frame. I saw the break of structure, breaking this structure, and it's even obvious. You can see the market has been pulling up, like it's more like market is respecting this trend line. So there is a very high tendency that market is still going to, based on your simple price action, market is still going to possibly come down, probably take out, wipe out all of you that put your stop loss at this point, tap into our other block, and then at the very least shoot to this upside, right? So that is the bias on that's the simple bias on BTC USD. It's simple, so I'm even getting bored explaining this thing over and over again. I feel that I'm supposed to come to class and then you guys would have analyzed and say, oh, BTC, we've analyzed it, is going to buy at this point and sell at this point. That's what I'm expecting now, because I think I keep repeating the same thing every now and then. Mr. Ebenezer, you want me to analyze USD JPY? You want this your JPY PS too. All right, so don't forget to lock in this trade. Let me see if I can quickly type it out. Buy limit order. Buy limit order at, where are we buying from? $66949. So I'm going to analyze with this USD JPY now. 66949.60. Our stop loss value, very important, is, and I don't know how some of you are still trading without stop loss, right? And some of you, your stop loss, by the time market hits your stop loss, all your capital is already gone. You are not trading yet. Go and learn money management. That is not how to trade. How can one trade wipe your whole account out? That's not trading. 66532.66, and our take profit value is 69897.43. Our risk to reward is 127. So we are getting some interesting risk to reward this week, right? So let's see how this one is going to play out. Simple stuff. Let's see how it's going to play out. So let's go over to USD JPY. USD JPY, what do you have? Don't forget, I told you I don't like to analyze this simple SMC strategy on currency pairs. I just don't know why. I don't like it. But at the same time, just for the sake of this class, I'm still going to show you my bias using this simple SMC. When I analyze currency pair, I just use my simple price action, break and retest, support and resistance, and all those things. But then let's see what it looks like. So the overall trend on USD JPY is to the upside. So if you are thinking of buying USD JPY, you should of selling USD JPY, you should think twice, because market has been pushing to the upside. You can even see it's looking like it even wants to break this high right now, and the momentum is looking good. Only if it now forms a head and shoulder pattern or a double top for the reversal, but it's still looking like we're still going to get a push to this upside, if not more. Okay, so my bias on USD JPY is to look for a buy signal. I'm not going to be looking for anything in this market. I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to buy, because markets would move more to the buy side than to the sell side. So you know what we do? We go to the H1 time frame, and H1 time frame, what I'm looking for is a perfect market structure. a perfect market structure on H1. Can I see any? Okay, market has broken this high, came back down, and it is looking like that's the same high we're talking about. It's looking like it's going to break that high again. But then I can see some inside funny move right here. I can see a break of structure to this upside, or a change of character to this upside, right? I can see a change of character to this upside, and okay, I can also spot this one at the moment. Okay, so from here it's easy for me to quickly highlight my order block, my first order block at this point. This is going to be my first order block, and of course, once I am able to identify my order block, and then this is my massive fair value gap, which has not even been tapped into. Once I identify that, I want to lock in the position straight. Let's first lock in that one, then we'll talk about other things. And to the buy side, so this is looking like 1 to 4. That's the first one, right? On H1, this is H1 sentiment. This is H1 sentiment right now. So I also want to look for lower time frame. Let's start from the 15 minutes. What does the 15 minutes time frame look like? Okay, this was the break of structure to that upside, and the move that started the break started around here, because before this point market has been making funny moves. It has not really shown us a perfect balanced market at this point, right? So I'm going to look for my other block at the 15 minutes time frame. But better still, let me even see maybe if I can get a better one on 5 minutes. Let's see if I can get a better one on 5 minutes. What does the 5 minutes look like? Okay, obviously there is none that is interesting to me on 5 minutes. So let me go back to my 15 minutes. And on my 15 minutes, this app now happens to be my other block on 15 minutes, right? And if I want to lock in my position, I might not pick this trade, because look at it. If I want to set my stop loss, and remember from the knowledge of price action, I wouldn't want to put my stop loss close to that other block. Now some people are so good that they are so accurate with their SMC strategy, especially because it is advanced strategy, that they put their stop loss at that below that other block. But then me, I always combine price action understanding, so I want to be sure that there is no manipulation that is going to wipe me out, and put my stop where I know that this is, in Yoruba they call it Mosafuento spot. Like, I don't run come out for your hand. How you take find me come here? I mean, if market now goes back to hit my stop loss at that point, I know that this is not village people. You understand? And I'll be able to confirm boldly that market sentiment has changed, right? So I'd rather put my stop loss here or put it at the final level. But let's see if the risk to reward is even worth it. If we target this buy side, this is 1 to 7. Even if I put it here, it is still 1 to, if I put it here, it is still 1 to 2.4. I don't know how you people do it in currency pairs, especially if you are trading with SMC and all that, but I'm not impressed with this risk to reward. But then you can still lock in this one, Mr. Blazer. You can still lock in this. This still looks acceptable. Let's see if that other block is better on the 5 minutes. Okay, on the 5 minutes there is a way you can also adjust it to get a better risk to reward, because this now happens to be your other block on the 5 minutes time frame. You can even see that's the other block, and that is the fair value gap. That's the fair value gap. So we have a better shot on 5 minutes time frame. So I'm just going to readjust my position. I can now boldly go back to the 15 minutes, readjust it. Aha, now it's looking better. Now I have 1 to 3, and if I decide to put my stop loss here, I still have a full 1 to 2. So I would rather put it here and enjoy my 1 to 3 and see what is going to happen. So that is my bias on USD JPY. Do we have the same bias, Mr. Ebenezer? Is that what you're looking at? Do you understand fully what I just did? Do you understand? So let me see if I can analyze one more pair for you before I leave. So guys, if there's any other pair you want me to analyze, can you quickly drop it now before we go? Don't forget, what gives you an edge is not your strategy. Don't let anybody bamboozle you or cajole you to thinking that strategy is everything in Forex. One thing that has given me an edge as a Forex trader has been my money management skill. I look at Forex like statistics. I don't just look at it like, this is an opportunity for me to kill the market. The market will just kill me. Who am I? Who am I? How much is my capital in the whole Forex market? So I'm not looking to kill the market, right? I'm just looking to take my share out of the market and run away. So someone said we should check AUD USD. You people will force me to start using price action to analyze pairs for us. What's with this red? Why do I have red on this chart? Okay, someone was trying to explain something for me. Okay, AUD USD, the overall bias is now at this point is controversial because the overall sentiment is to the upside, and then you can see markets move to the downside, although it's obvious that it's looking like market is just trying to complete a retracement before an impulsive move is going to start to the upside, right? So I'm still going to have a slightly bullish bias on AUD USD, but if I see a good market structure on I'm still going to lock it in. And before I can clearly say that market is changing direction to the upside, probably the impulsive move has started, I need to start seeing some serious break of structure. Although I can spot one here already. Because from your knowledge of market structure, you can see the market has been doing series of lows, then boom, that was the break, change of character to the upside. So I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to lock in a buy position on AUD USD. It's funny because I can also spot a trend line, a perfect trend line. So yes, I have I'm optimistic about the buy side on AUD USD. Let's see if we miss this other block, because look at it, this was a missed trade already. So it means that this trade would still actively be running at the moment for AUD USD, because this was the break of structure to the upside and change of character, and then a fair value gap, and the market has tapped in to the other block and it is now rallying up in profit. We would have entered from here, put our stop loss below, and then mark this upside. That's 1 to 2.5, and you can see it will still be running in profit. But then that's not where we are going. Let's see if we can also still see some inside move, right? So let's go to the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see what we have here. On the 15 minutes time frame, I can see a break of structure to the upside, and then I can spot my other block down there. I always look for my other block at that turning point. Some of you like to look for that block in the middle of the trend and all that, but then if it works for you and that's your strategy, the end justifies the means. So I can spot something right here, and then I also can see my fair value gap at this point. So I would say is a good one to lock in. Is a good one to lock in for me. My buyers on AUD/USD right now. Now, where will I put my stop loss? Of course, I would want to put my stop loss below this low. It's even very far, but at the same time, as far as I can get a good risk to reward, and this is already looking like one to, this is even, let's even say we can take this 1 to 4. Although it might be difficult, so I might want to stick it to 1 to 3.5, 1 to 3.5, and then see how, if market is going to come back to tapping into my other block and then activate my trade, and I'm good to go. So that's my buyers on AUD/USD. That's my buyers on AUD/USD. All right, it seems we've been able to analyze, like, let's say 4 pairs. You guys brought me into currency pair. We've analyzed USD JPY, EURUSD, we've analyzed BTC USD, and we've analyzed XAUUSD. Everything on USD. Let's pray that there won't be any erratic move on USD, especially because Trump has announced that today is the deadline for Iran, and is going to destroy their country with one strike. I mean, how did he put it? Right? So please, in anything you do today, make sure that you are following the news. As a trader, all these, your order block, your demand, it has nothing to do when Trump decides to tweet or decide to take action. Trump market, in fact, people are now calling this market Trump market now. So if care is not taking, all these things that we've drawn, that is very colorful and beautiful and looking like money is going to be made, if Trump decides to tweet otherwise, everything can scatter. Do you understand? So as a trader, you want to also be well informed about the fundamentals that could change the direction of the market, and also position yourself very well so that you don't get wiped away by the erratic move of the market. Especially today is Tuesday, right? And especially because of that news that Trump could bomb the bridge and the power plants in Iran, just so that they can open that strat. So please stay updated, and that is also why we have an active community. If there is anything that is going to scatter the market, and if I'm able to spot it, I'll post it there, and you guys will see it and you learn from it. So make sure that you don't mute our Telegram channel. Make sure that you stay updated and you're always following the setup. And it's funny because look at what happened last week. On Tuesday, we had the market out just like this, but our market order block was not mitigated. Then I spotted another order block the next day and I posted it. Imagine if you had not stayed updated, you would have missed out from the 1,400 pips that market gave us, right? So make sure you stay updated. And lastly, you cannot be enjoying this thing alone. Share this channel with your friend, let them connect. Whenever we go live, share the link with them, let them connect. This, what I just did today, does not affect your own analysis. You might have your own different style of trading and all that, but this could also be like a two-factor authentication to confirm your move and all that. And this would also be an opportunity for you to learn and see how professional traders look at the market, their outlook on the market. So it is a win-win. No knowledge is lost for you. So please feel free to share this live with your friends so that they can connect every time we join. And I wish us a peaceful week ahead. Let's make money, guys. Let's make money. And if you have not registered with PU Prime, on the Telegram group there is a link. Register with PU Prime. These ones don't manipulate your trade. They give you the real market quotes and all that, and the spread is nice, the execution is fast, withdrawal is fast, deposit is fast. And if you need anything, you even have access to me, that you can easily chat me, because I have access to their backend. I can easily text their country admin or African director or the operation manager to do whatever you need for you. So feel free to register with them and trade with them. All right, I'll see you guys next week, same time. Have a blessed week. Thank you.